Want to make this patchwork gauze dress with me? Come along and see how it goes. I always start with putting the fabric on my body and making sure I like the way it drapes. And then I'm going to make a little map for myself so I know exactly how many rectangles I need. Next up, I'm going to layer the fabric on top of itself so that I can make sure that all the rectangles and all the colors are going to be the same size. So I'm just layering these fabrics and making sure that they are nice and flat. And then I'm going to jump into cutting them, doing my measurements. I'm not bothering to use a pattern because it's just a bunch of rectangles, so why bother? It feels like it would just be a bunch of wasted time. So I'm just going to cut all these out freestyle. So now I'm going to lay them out on the ground, go ahead and take my map and use that next to me to see exactly what each column needs to be made of. Go ahead and bring this over to the sewing machine after I pin these pieces together, run it through the machine over and over and over again so I have each column made. Now I'm going to go ahead and reference my drawing again and start to connect each column to the column next to it. And then back to the sewing machine, and then back to pinning, and then back to the sewing machine, and pinning and sewing and pinning and sewing until I have all of my columns assembled. I'm going to go ahead and finish the neckline and add a drawstring tunnel because I want to make sure this dress is a little bit adjustable, at least a tiny bit. And now getting that drawstring tunnel through the neckline so that I can go ahead and give this a spin. And I love the two-tone neckline drawstring. That was because I didn't have enough fabric for one color, but don't tell anybody. Oh no, I'm telling everybody. And here it is, the finished product. I love it. It feels like pajamas, my favorite. And if you want to see this at regular speed with all the tiny details, planning methods, and sewing tricks I'm using, along with the growing collection of Make It With Me videos like this, then be sure to check out my soft work course. This course reframes the way we think about clothing construction. Instead of just working with a ready-made pattern with confusing sizing and questionable fit, soft work chooses instead to make patterns based on our own measurements and based on the natural shape of the fabric, a rectangle. You'll learn to make free-fitting, basic garments that are simple to sew and easy to wear. I hope you'll join me.